Hello and welcome to Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. And if you need your dose of what's been happening in the advertising and marketing world with a dash of spice, you're at the right place. Let's get the show on the road and find out what's lined up for you in the next 30 minutes. On the show, cricket is an addiction and MSD is currently everybody's favorite drug. We bring you the evolution of brand Dhoni. China and Japan are light years ahead of India when it comes to mobile marketing. We bring you the thinkers of the industry on how India can do so much more with this medium. And finally, marketing has now moved from advertising to crowdsourcing and user-generated content. Truth or myth? He is one of the most iconic cricketers of our time. He has steered the team to victory in all three formats of the game, and he brought the country the ultimate joy by bringing the World Cup trophy home after more than 2 decades. He's the current king of cricket and the undisputed king of brands. Tara Kapoor tracks the journey of brand Dhoni and how this brand is constantly reinventing itself.
Yes, who is it?
Dhoni.
Dhoni finishes off in style. A magnificent...
Who would have thought that it would be in MS Dhoni's era that India would go on to rewrite history in cricket? Who would have thought that this young boy from Ranchi would one day find himself ranked above the global football icon Messi and even the United States President Obama in the list of the 100 most influential people in the world?
अगर माँ का दूध पिया है तो सामने आ रही.
And who would have thought that this boy would attract brands like moths to a flame, making him one of the country's most admired brands, valued at over 300 crore rupees, with close to 30 brands in his kitty.
I think brand Dhoni is, totally unparalleled in the amount of success that he's had. I mean, first you need to put him in 2 different boxes. One is his own personality, which is outwardly flamboyant. If you remember his career when he started, he was the first one to have the haircut, the long hair, then he cut it short, and then you look at his capabilities to act. If you see his commercials, he's actually a natural actor. He's the largest icon, and I think the combination of him being a personality by himself and the credentials that he brings to the table with the success on ground, my God, lethal mix.
He is emotional, he is capable, he's passionate, and at the same time he's strategic, which makes him really a unique Indian captain we ever had.
And Dhoni is your typical rags to riches story. He hails from the small town of Ranchi in Jharkhand, certainly not a place known for its cricket infrastructure or heroes.
हर मिट्टी की अपनी खुशबू, अपना चोला, अपना भेस, लाख तलाशों नहीं मिले वो.
But 8 years into the game and Dhoni has spiraled to success, leaving every other Indian captain completely envious. In fact, compare Sachin's cricket career of 22 years to Dhoni's 8. And then compare Sachin's 17-odd brands to Dhoni's 27, and the numbers speak for themselves.
Over the last 8, 10, 12 months, our page one has been pathetic. We've had scam after scam after scam. Corruption's hit the country. There's no political leader you really want to look up to. And in such a scenario, Tendulkar comes in as a timeless brand, and Dhoni comes in as the here and now brand. And I think the more bad news you get on page one, the more the Dhonis of the world will appeal to India.
I think endorsements to sports people is directly proportional to the success that they've achieved. And 2 of the greatest sports idols in India, I think Sachin Tendulkar, who has occupied that position for a long time, and in the last 2-3 years it is the emerging Dhoni in the form of his leadership that has really brought him into this limelight.
Initially perceived as extravagantly flamboyant and recognized as a destructive batsman, Dhoni in more ways than one symbolizes the young India. No nonsense, action-oriented, bold decision maker, a true blue leader, and something that Indian politics or sport has not seen in a long time. And this unique but heady concoction is what makes him the darling of marketers. According to a recent Times Sports report, commercials of brands endorsed by Dhoni grabbed 29% of the total TV ad pie during this year's ICC World Cup. Khan finished a distant second at only 10%, followed by Kareena Kapoor's 8%, and Tendulkar and Hrithik Roshan had 7% each. And these numbers are telling of what the future awaits. Gone are the days of undented runs of the Amitabh Bachchans and Shah Rukh Khans of the world, where the core value of the brand is an unknown quotient and all that brands are betting on is his or her superstar status. Brands are now increasingly looking to connect with what the individual stands for. And whether Dhoni was able to foresee that or not, he's playing the endorsement game rather well too.
He provides that aura of leadership. And that is something you want to look forward to in people. The fact that he's a leader, the fact that he's controlling things around him, the fact that therefore people are looking up to him. When situations get tense, everybody looks at the captain. So all of India is waiting for that camera shot to span over to Dhoni to see what is Dhoni thinking about. And I think all this makes him a lot more real than many other people. So you'll have the movie stars who have their own niche markets and who are very appropriate for certain situations. But I think Dhoni represents a more real market. He represents our aspirations far more differently.
And while Dhoni is charging a fee of 6 crore rupees currently, his World Cup performance is only going to escalate that number, making him the second most expensive endorser, just a notch below Amir. The ad campaign for an LED TV set cost Sony 100 crore rupees, but the brand says it was worth its while. The company has sold more than 240,000 sets in the last 3 months, a jump of over 40% from earlier.
Especially during World Cup, Sony wanted to promote high definition, and MS Dhoni, being the biggest cricket sensation, we thought would be the best person to deliver the message to the audience. And actually we did that, and we have enjoyed double sales during the period of January to March as compared to the previous year.
And other advertisers don't seem to be complaining either.
I think we brought in Dhoni in Fashion at Big Bazaar, and the whole theme was it's a new world which has come in and change your clothes. And I think that has worked well for us. Today, Fashion at Big Bazaar is growing nearly at 30% same-store sales growth. Whether it is our product is good, whether it's a combination of Dhoni plus the product plus the overall market. But I think Dhoni definitely has helped us to build what Fashion at Big Bazaar is today.
We engaged with Dhoni a long time back. We felt that the brand values that we had and he has, some of them, there's a huge amount of overlap. Things like humility, modernity, youthfulness, and of course leadership. So these are some of the values that Dhoni embodies, and which is why he's become such a youth icon.
And part of the reason that Dhoni is the quintessential pin-up boy for Indian advertisers is the fact that he is constantly reinventing himself. Be it his ever-changing hairstyles,
You were to take my opinion, you look good in this haircut, don't have a haircut.
or his flamboyant decisions on the field, or just his simplistic, unpretentious style. Dhoni, knowing or unknowingly, is always making a statement.
When I look at Dhoni and I look at the way he's managing his brand, he's been quite smart. What I've seen is, if you look at Amitabh Bachchan, he changed his images in terms of his personalities. I think KBC made him reach another level. Bagban made him reach another level. But he had his own phases of life. But Dhoni, look at him, the way he's changing his looks every 3 years or 4 years. I think that is enhancing his brand.
But will brand Dhoni surpass the cricketer Dhoni? Can Mahi continue to sustain his brand value post the downturn that is bound to hit Indian cricket? And what's the plan when this sporting superstar ultimately decides to turn in his bat?
I'll definitely say that do not dilute the equity with too many brands endorsements, and probably focus on a few where you can stand for certain things in life.
I didn't see Saurav Ganguly, Sachin Tendulkar, Kapil Dev, such big legends having a plan B. I didn't see it. All of these athletes' plan B was to play more cricket. I would have presumed that all these athletes do realize that post 33, 34, 35, your physical abilities to perform on field do diminish, and at that time you would have a plan B for your brand. Like taking an example from David Beckham and certain athletes globally. But I didn't see these legends having a plan B. But I think somewhere down the line, Dhoni does have a plan B.
According to Ridley Sports, the agency managing Dhoni's game plan, there most certainly is. In fact, they no longer plan to sign regular endorsements for the icon. but plan to work on larger agreements, which include partnerships with the brands and a bigger stake in the company. Brand Dhoni is now the first Indian to look at equity deals with the companies he endorses. This is a huge shift in the Indian endorsement scene, and the skipper, whose popularity in the market is at an all-time high after India's World Cup triumph, is timing his move just right. Clearly, Dhoni's strategic planning is not just limited to on the field.
Talking about brands that have constantly reinvented themselves, some of the others would be the likes of Amir Khan and Amitabh Bachchan. And possibly therein lies the secret. Time to get commercial, but up next we talk about mobile marketing in India and how so much more can be done with this medium. Stay with us.